Okay, so in the last video, we went over the physical structure of the lab. At the end of the video, we also checked, yeah, we verified that the networking and the SSH keys access, everything is working. If you remember, we went over this file here and so on. Okay, so today I'd like to go over this file here because these are things that I needed to perform on the RPis, so they can be part of my Kubernetes cluster, so to speak. Okay, I documented everything that I did here. For example, added these lines here to the hosts files, yeah, of the nodes, and again checks. We needed to disable swap. I didn't have swap enabled, so I could have skipped this here. But if you have swap enabled, then you can perform these steps here and so on. All right, so and I added some notes here. I didn't have anything related to swap here, so I was good actually. Load some required modules. This was a step where I thought, do I really need this here? And then I investigated like the things that I needed. Actually, what needs what, And for that, I also created notes, like what needs what actually. And if you take a look here, why do I need this module? Oh, this is for the container runtime. Oh, and this here, oh, that's actually not for Cilium. It's actually because of some pre-flight checks that Kube ATM does, Same with this stuff here. Actually, not this one here. This is a fundamental stuff. We need this regardless of whether we're using Kube proxy, Cilium, and so on. Again, I added like, the explanations here, okay? All right, so what else did we need to do? This year, of course, we added, for example, I remember I only needed to install this year because I had these things here installed already, and also this one here. So this was the only thing that was missing. But again, if you don't have this here, then yeah, I left the entire command, okay? Added the Kubernetes repository, apt, because I have Ubuntu on my Raspberry Pis. Again, I documented like everything. Then we added the container runtime. In my case, I'm going to use this one here, but you could use, I don't know, container D if you want to. Again, it's up to you. Again, edit the repository and the keys and so on. And then we install container runtime, kubelet, kubeadm, and kubecontrol. We kind of pin the versions. Again, actually, I explained everything here, basically. We enabled the container runtime. We verified that it's running. We enabled the kubelet service. Again, I have everything here. Ensured that this thing here shows as disabled. Why? Well, because Cilium, we're going to use Cilium as our container network interface. So we don't need this sort of default bridge that this container runtime is here. This container runtime ships with, okay? And then I have some verification checklists, in order to make sure that our RPis are configured like properly, okay? Then you perform all of these steps here, and if everything works as expected, because I have like expected values here. For example, here you can see this here and so on. And I have a example output from the worker node, okay? But the controller, I just didn't want to like clutter the file too much, okay? All right, so you can see swap has been disabled. The nodes, the modules have been loaded properly. We have one for the IP forwarding. Again, everything like the container runtime is active. Kubelet is enabled. We have kubeadm installed 1.35, and the worker can ping the controller, okay? That's basically, and of course the controller can ping the worker because this is what we did here, basically, okay? That's it. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at the actual cluster bootstrapping, okay? That's the point where we use a kubeadm init to create the cluster, okay? Which is going to be this part here. But that's for the next video, okay? So again, to recap, we set up the Raspberry Pis. We did some configuration management, actually the provisioning of the physical hardware and the network. and some configuration management for the SSH stuff. Okay, so infrastructure provisioning actually. And then we prepared the nodes to be part of a cluster, Kubernetes cluster. And then the next step, we're going to create the cluster, so to speak. Okay, so that's the part where we go over the Cilium stuff and so on. We create the manifest like manually and so on. Again, no spoiler, we're going to go over this here in the next video. Okay, all right, so that's it for today, and I'll see you the next time. Cheers.